What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video. And today, since it's April Fool's, we'll be doing What If Hercule Got Ultra Instinct. Now, as you can tell, it's part 2. Now, where's part 1? Well, it's on Leisure Storm's channel. There'll be a link to it in the comment section or in the description. It depends how lazy I am. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Picking up where Lytra left off, Mr. Satan is attacked by Satan Black, who forces him into using Ultra Instinct again. But this time, when Mr. Satan begins fighting back, Black also obtains Ultra Instinct. Very similar to how he copied Super Saiyan after seeing it, now he's copying Ultra Instinct. Due to that, Mr. Satan is outmatched, as it's literally just a stronger version of himself using the same power-up. Boo is forced to intervene, but he gets dropped by Black pretty quickly, which forces future Yajirobe and Mai to help save everyone. They allow Trunks, Mr. Satan and Boo to retreat back to the past. However, now they know Zamasu is immortal much sooner. Mr. Satan goes to Whis, asking what he can do to get stronger, and Whis replies that he could try mastering Ultra Instinct. The state he has right now is an incomplete version, so he should try to unlock the full version. There's a very small chance Black will be able to unlock that in such a short period of time, even knowing of the form. Mr. Satan agrees to train to unlock it, so Whis begins training him more intensely. Meanwhile, future Trunks is asking around on how to defeat an immortal enemy, but Piccolo has a solution, the Mothwubber. He knows how to control that move, so he can teach him. Trunks is very grateful, and lets Piccolo teach him the technique. Also during this time, Boo is training with Goten and Trunks to gain more strength. After Trunks has learned the Mothwubber, Whis stops his training with Mr. Satan and they prepare to go back to the future. Satan, Boo and future Trunks arrive and begin fighting Black and Zamasu once again. Majin Buu fights Zamasu, while Trunks gets the Mothwubber ready and Mr. Satan takes on his doppelganger. The two scrap, having a much more even battle this time. They both end up triggering Ultra Instinct for each other, which causes another even fight. However, Black does end up gaining the upper hand and winning the battle, dealing a large amount of damage to Mr. Satan with a key sword. Thankfully, this is enough to trigger the completed version of Ultra Instinct, white hair and all. With his power, he was able to easily beat Satan Black and basically just pummel him to the ground. Future Trunks finally prepares the Mothwubber, however Boo has other plans. He gets the upper hand on Zamasu and just absorbs him. This changes his look, but it's a sure way of keeping Zamasu locked up for good. Trunks is a little upset they went through all the trouble of learning the Mothwubber for nothing, but at least they've solved the problem. After that, the two team up with Mr. Satan to finish off Black, ending the problem right there. Mr. Satan collapses from all the strain, and they go back to the past. Trunks and Mai go to an alternate version of their timeline, leaving Mr. Satan feeling accomplished. He continues his training with Majin Buu until Zeno says that he wants another tournament. Because of that, Mr. Satan, Buu and Gohan are selected to participate in the exhibition match against Universe 9. Buu easily defeats Basil this time, since he's been training since the Beerus arc. Gohan also defeats Lavender pretty quickly, since he never stopped training after the Buu arc. And lastly, Bergamo triggers Mr. Satan Ultra Instinct Omen, so he easily defeats Bergamo. But now it's time to decide the roster for the TOP. The first few are Mr. Satan, Buu, Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten. Because Goku is never around, Krillin doesn't get motivated to train again, so he's too weak to join the team. Instead, we get 17, 18, Tenshinhan, and Roshi. This is a decent team for the most part, but 18 is also weaker since she didn't have training with Krillin. Now we've seen how the TOP goes and a lot of other what-ifs, so I'm gonna kinda breeze through the beginning. Mr. Satan and Buu eliminate all of Universe 9 with some help from the others. Goten, Trunks, and the rest of the team take out multiple people like Botamo and Dokori much sooner. Buu saves Roshi and heals him after Frost attack, leading to Buu eliminating Frost. Goten and Trunks are able to support the team, which saves Tenshinhan from elimination. Gohan is able to take down his enemies much sooner, since he never stopped training here. Goten and Trunks have a similar interaction to Kale and Caulifla that Goku does in canon, with the boys unveiling their god forms that they learned from training with Whis. Android 18 has more trouble with Shosa and Majora, but 17 comes and saves her. Basically, the squad is overall just having a much easier time. One notable change is that Mr. Satan is going to be the one to team up with Hit against Dispo and Kunchi. But this time, Mr. Satan will just utilize Ultra Instinct right after Dispo lands an attack, causing Dispo and Kunchi to get beaten up pretty badly. Dispo struggles, so he reveals his super maximum lightspeed mode to much earlier, causing Mr. Satan to struggle a bit. But thankfully, Hit uses his full power like we saw against Jiren, and was able to take Dispo down before Mr. Satan gets too serious. So they're able to take down both Kunchi and Dispo here, which is pretty epic. After that, Jiren and Mr. Satan have a battle, when Mr. Satan finally taps into completed Ultra Instinct once again. With his power, Jiren begins to struggle, even more than he did against Goku. But thankfully, he continues to use more power and pushes Mr. Satan to his limits, causing him to burn out. Hit then steps in and tries to fight Jiren, but is taken out of the ring. Majin Buu goes over to Mr. Satan and heals him, which brings him back up to full strength. Tenshinhan and Roshi end up taking out the remains of Universe 4, but are eliminated in the process. Mr. Satan and Buu work together to fight Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba, which is a wash for our heroes. Kaba gets eliminated quite quickly, and the two girls fuse much sooner. Mr. Satan insists on taking Kefla on alone, so Buu allows it. Here, Mr. Satan reveals that he can now use Ultra Instinct Omen at will. This is a similar thing to what we see Goku doing in the Super manga, and with how much Mr. Satan has used the form, it shouldn't be surprised he can use it at will by now. Because of this, he's able to defeat Kefla really easily, causing them to be taken out of the ring. Gohan and Piccolo are able to take Sawana and Purina out much sooner this time, so that's nice as well. Goten and Trunks beat up the last of Universe 2's warriors on their own, so that's very impressive. Now, the gang regroups to fight Universe 3. The current team is Buu, Satan, Goten, Trunks, Gohan, Piccolo, 17, and 18. Here, 18 is going to get taken out, since she's weaker than in canon. Once all the robots are defeated, Paparoni awakens Anilaza, but this is a pretty easy opponent to defeat. Satan simply uses Ultra Instinct and Speed Blitzes him. This allows Majin Buu to stretch and surround Anilaza, and absorb him after some struggle due to its size. Now Buu is far more powerful, and larger as well. He and the gang attack the only two opponents left, Jiren and Toppo. Mr. Satan, Buu, and 17 fight Jiren, while Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks fight Toppo. The Toppo fight sees Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan Blue Goten and Trunks working together with Piccolo to beat Toppo up pretty easily. This forces Toppo to unleash his God form, which beats all of them up quite easily. Not only that, but Piccolo is eliminated by this level of power, which makes the rest of the squad pretty upset. Goten and Trunks see no other option here than to fuse. Because of the massive multiplier of fusion, they're able to actually hold their own against Toppo while using Super Saiyan Blue. And with the help of Ultimate Gohan's strategy, the hybrids are able to take Toppo out of the arena. The strain of Blue does cause Gotenks to defuse soon after though. Now, Gohan and the boys can go help the rest of our team, who are actually faring quite well against Jiren. Mr. Satan is using Omen, while Buu and 17 just jump in to help where they can. This causes Jiren to actually output even more power, which forces Satan to react by using completed Ultra Instinct. No one else is really able to keep up here, but Jiren just uses more and more power to fight back. This causes Mr. Satan to burn out again, but Buu simply heals him, resulting in the return of UI. Jiren sees this as a major threat, so he attacks Buu, trying to eliminate him. However, that's when Gohan arrives, and takes the attack for Buu. Goten and Trunks then follow up by blindsiding Jiren with a Ki Blast to the face. Buu heals Gohan, who was heavily injured from the attack he took. After Jiren regains his footing, Mr. Satan attacks yet again, forcing Jiren to use his full power. With everyone else teaming up, that just isn't enough. And so, we'd see Jiren awaken his hidden power state like we see in the anime. The level of strength is enough to take Goten and Trunks pretty easily, as well as nearly eliminate Gohan. However, 17 jumps in the way using energy barriers to negate the blast. Unfortunately, the barriers are destroyed by such raw strength, so 17 takes damage. Buu tries to heal everyone, but Jiren grabs him and one-shots him out of the arena. This enrages Satan, who charges at Jiren with all he's got. Here we'd have a pretty similar fight to Goku vs Jiren's final battle. So by the end, both fighters would be burnt out, which forces 17 and Gohan to step in. They are barely able to hold Jiren off long enough for Mr. Satan to return and help finish Jiren off once and for all. 17 makes the wish to bring back all the universes, and that wraps up the Tournament of Power. And since Lytra doesn't want to do the manga because he's boring, we've only got the Broly movie left. But this kinda goes as you expect. Barry Blue recruits Broly, goes to Earth hoping to revive Frieza once again, but our heroes stop him. I'd probably see more people being involved this time though, since Mr. Satan isn't really gonna be on the lookout for new foes. So we'd probably have Gohan, Goten and Trunks doing the first part of the movie, with Satan and Buu jumping in once they sense the power of Broly. Also, Buu spat out all the people he absorbed in the TOP by the way, just a detail I forgot to mention. Anyway, with Mr. Satan having Ultra Instinct at will, and Paragus not being killed by Frieza, they're able to take Broly down. And since there's no Vegeta here, Paragus is pretty alright with staying on Earth with Broly. The day is saved yet again thanks to Mr. Satan. But that is where the story ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this April Fool's story. I would like to thank Lytra for letting me on this collab. It was a good what if, in most places, Some of them sucked, but you know, slideshow, what can you expect? And yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And bye!